You know that feeling, right? When the walls just start to feel like they're closing in. You absolutely love your home, but man, you just need a little more room. For a long time, there was only one answer to that problem. But what if I told you there's a smarter way to do it now?
Maybe you're working from home now, and the kitchen table just isn't cutting it. Or maybe the family's getting bigger. Or your new hobby has completely taken over the spare room. Whatever it is, that need for a real functional space, it's something we all get. You just need room to focus, to create, or heck, just to take a deep breath.
So you decide, okay, that's it, we're doing it. And your first thought is probably a traditional extension, right? It's the classic go-to. But hold on a sec. Before you start getting quotes, you should know that the old way of doing things comes with some pretty big and often hidden headaches.
Yeah, we're calling this the extension headache for a reason. Because honestly, for so many people, the process of a traditional build becomes this huge source of stress, of not knowing what's coming next, and just total disruption to your daily life. I mean, we've all heard the horror stories, haven't we? Budgets that just seem to inflate out of nowhere. Timelines that drag on for months and months of dust and noise. And then there's the big one, those nasty structural surprises that can turn your dream project into a really expensive nightmare.
And look, this isn't just gossip over the garden fence, it's a known issue. The whole process of building outside, in your garden, exposed to the weather, dealing with whatever's buried underground, it means that surprise costs and delays are pretty much baked into the cake. It's a real gamble.
But what if you could take that gamble completely off the table? This is where things get interesting. Let's talk about a totally different way of thinking about this. A smarter way that gets right to the heart of all those problems we just talked about. Okay, so say hello to modular construction. The idea is actually brilliantly simple. Instead of having a building site in your backyard for months, almost all of the construction happens inside a specialized factory. It's a total flip in how we think about building. And don't think for a second this is about cutting corners. It's the complete opposite. It's about upgrading the entire process. So think less muddy boots and piles of sand and more of a high-tech, precision assembly line. It's all about efficiency and getting it right the first time.
So what does all this precision engineering actually mean for you? Well, it boils down to 3 massive wins that completely solve the old extension headaches. We're talking about predictability, speed, and quality. Let's dig into each one.
This chart really tells the whole story, doesn't it? Just look at it. On one side, you've got traditional, unpredictable costs, months of chaos. On the other, you've got modular, clear pricing, and minimal time on site. I mean, it is a night and day difference.
Let's start with the big one, the one that keeps people up at night: money. That fear of the budget just spiraling out of control is probably the #1 reason projects never even get started. Well, modular is designed to fix that, first and foremost.
So how does it work? It's pretty straightforward. Since most of the building happens in a factory, you get to dodge all those horrible on-site surprises, like finding weird pipes or having terrible ground conditions. And that means you get a transparent, fixed price right from the beginning. You know exactly what you're in for. No guessing games.
All right, the next game changer is all about time. Because you want that new space like yesterday, not sometime next year. And just as important, you want to get it without your home life being turned completely upside down for months. And check out how this process works. While your amazing new room is being built to perfection in a factory, the only thing happening at your house is some minor prep work. Then, and this is the really cool part, the finished module gets delivered and put into place, sometimes in just a day or two. The actual time there's any work in your garden is tiny compared to a traditional build.
And finally, let's crush a big myth. People sometimes hear factory built and think lower quality. But you know what? In reality, it's exactly the opposite. Just think about it for a second. Inside a factory, there's no rain, no wind, no freezing temperatures messing with the materials. Everything is protected. They have super strict quality checks at every single step, something that's just impossible to do on a chaotic building site. What you get is a stronger, more durable, and better built structure that's designed to be used comfortably all year round. So we've gone through the practical stuff, the money, the time, the quality, but let's zoom out. Because what this is really about isn't just a building. It's about what that building does for your life. This is the real why. It's about finally getting that separate, defined space you've been dreaming of. A quiet home office so you can actually focus. A creative studio to get messy in. A dedicated playroom so you can finally get your living room back from the toys. It's about adding a whole new layer to your lifestyle.
And that's really the bottom line here.
You get this incredible, life-enhancing space that adds real value to your home and your day-to-day. And you get it without all the stress, the hidden costs, and the months of disruption. It's a smarter way to get what you want.
So, I'll leave you with this question to chew on. If you could snap your fingers and have that perfect extra room, knowing the exact cost and exactly when it would be ready, what would you create? What would that new space really mean for you?